better? Oh, are we live? Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Alright. There we go. I can, yes, right. Oh, thank God. That's brilliant. No problem. Wow. We actually had 4 people. We had 4 people on at one point. Damn. That's actually kind of crazy. Don't think I've ever had that many people show up on the YouTube. Okay, well, that's all over. We have a guard, which is being Dragon. None of the other staff have shown up, so looks like it's just going to be me and Dragon doing it. Dragon, do you wanna come up, or I don't want to force anything on you, but as a staff, yeah, right, that's a hand. Right, I've invited you up. I shall welcome. I shall pull up the form. Google form. That's okay. That's all I can ask. That's all I can ask. Right. If you do need to go at any point, Dragon, just feel free. I'm happy to do this on my own. Things would probably get done a lot quicker, but no, that's fine. Right. Can everyone see my shared screen of the rough draft of the ROTC? Just gonna wait. Okay. People see it? Still looking at you, no mic. Can you see my stream? Or my screen? I'm sharing. Oh god, there's a show chat. Oh no, it's just people. Yes, right, great. So, so far this is kind of what we've got, I think. Yeah, so this is the brief idea of what is to be the new staff structure. So we have the monarch, we have the prime minister, we have the judges, we have the councillors, we have the guards, we have the managers, we have the ministers, and we have the clerks. I believe, memory serves me correctly, it's only one extra staff position. Yeah, so it's only one extra staff position that is being opened up. So that will be fun. Okay, so let's give us some space to work with. Here's the, I guess, roles, guidelines. We should probably start with requirements. I've already got requirements here. Right, so let's bold that, and then that needs to be underlined. Then these two need to be underlined. Right, so the requirements to be a prime minister. Ooh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be real fun. Okay, so requirements to be prime minister. I think I kind of want to stick along, I guess, these guidelines. No more executive vote of confidence until resignation. Selected by previous monarch must have no other server responsibilities, been a server for a year, not be banned or convicted of a social erosion. Oh, is that Nuke? Please tell me it's Nuke. Nope. He's just in there, Mike. The bugger. He's a lot better at. Admittedly, he's a little bit better at some of this stuff than I am. Right, so I am just going to grab the requirements for Monarch, paste them down. So, anyone got any ideas how long we want a term to last for councillors? How many times do you guys want to elect your councillors? We're separating the guards, the current guards' responsibility to both moderate and represent. So the councillors would be the representing, while the guards would be the moderating. Which also means that guards will no longer be elected. Ichigo, just as a refresher, what's the term difference between all the guards? Just for people that might need a refresher. You know, like me. It's every 3 months. Okay. Elected every 3 months. Maybe twice per year unless resignation or removed from position for councillors. Okay. I think what we're going to do, so there isn't like 2 separate elections. What we're going to do for the Prime Minister in elections is the Prime Minister would be elected at the same time as the Councillor. However, whoever has the most votes under the current voting system, which I believe is single transferable vote, whoever has the most votes under single transferable vote for the councillors, for the councillor elections, they become the Prime Minister. This means that we don't have to do tons of shitty elections and just keeps things tidy. Right, so elected every 3 months. They are chosen at the same time as the councillors. They're chosen at the same time as the councillors via single transferable vote. They are the one with the most votes. They are not selected by the previous monarch. Yes, Ichigo. I do believe that keeping the current election system as we do now, so I think based off the last election, I think like 90% of people got one of their choices elected. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I might be. If we do have any judges, they can probably tell me I'm wrong or not. But I think the current system kind of keeps it fair, I guess, and kind of keeps it so everyone does get a say. and especially considering this is the representatives. You know, we don't end up with mob rule within the server, and it's a pretty even balance. Is that okay with everyone? Just let me know if anyone has any objections in no mic. You know, that's what you're there for. Quickly. Nope. We need to go type. Okay, so for Ichigo who's wondering how the current system works, is when you vote, you rank, I think it's either all of them or you rank your top three candidates that you would rather have, your first, your second, and your first. After the first round, which just goes over everyone's first choice, I think it's the one with the least amount of first choices. We then look at their second choices, I believe, and their second choices get distributed to whoever's first until you have a clear winner, I believe. I'm not sure if that's very clear. However, I am happy to provide you, Ichigo, with a YouTube video on how the current voting system works. It will probably explain it a lot better than I can. Just gotta wait for him to type. Da bum 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 bum. Kind of. Hang on, give me a sec. I'll put a video in no mic. How single transferable vote work. Share. Copy link. There you go. There's a short video on how it works. It's a no mic if any of you wish to watch it. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Damn, unlucky all of you. You've got to listen to this old git rant and talk and shit, I guess. Okay, so I mean, sure, I guess we can look into voting and how voting all works perhaps another time. However, I would like to try and stay focused on the councillors, because we do have two major staff positions to get through at the moment in time. Okay, so that's not right. Executive vote of confidence is how did the executive vote of confidence work in the can and cannot? I believe it was maybe nearer the bottom. Um, um, so, okay, the requirements. Elected every 3 months, they are chosen at the same time. No term limits. Because anyone that says term limits within the server would probably be stupid, because we frankly do not have enough people that are even interested in participating in this shit to have term limits. So no limit to the amount of terms they can have. Anything in the can and cannot. I think that's it for now. So the can and cannot. This is something that I need to copy over from over there, is about activation. Which has already been agreed upon, like if the monarch needs to step back, then the Prime Minister, I guess, can temporarily be activated. So the Prime Minister doesn't need to be re-elected every 3 months. The Prime Minister would come under a councillor, except they're kind of the elite guard, I guess. They're the elite guard of the councillors. Hang on, there's stuff about ministers in here somewhere that just to save time. There we go. Sorry, don't mind me just being fairly lazy, I guess. I wish I could actually see your screen share, but sadly I'm stuck in no. Oh, can people not see my screen? Oh shit. Can they not? Fuck. Let's have a look. My screen is showing. Strange. You cannot see it unless you're in the tavern table. Why don't I just invite you up and you can answer your queries the old-fashioned way. Right. We're on the Prime Minister. An official name. What else? Works on all counts.
Okay, so on the old one was create and remove non-ROTC rules. Okay, so creating and removing non-ROTC rules. Yay or nay?
Oh, we haven't gotten to that section yet.
Oh.
We're on a lot of the newer stuff before we start cannibalizing.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Can create proposals for the council to vote on. Right. Where is Nuke? Oh, he's playing Rocket League. He really could do with a judge. Okay, so I believe some of these can be copied over. These are just basic stuff, so the one I've just copied over there is end a joke or non-serious suggestion.
Yeah, so do we want to go with the end suggestions, same as Monarch does?
As long as they're joke suggestions, I feel like the fact that it has to be an end joke, because kind of what's unique about the Prime Minister kind of is obviously the Prime Minister, the guy who's in charge of the ministers and managers. He's also the head council. We're also to help out, I guess, in moderation. It would be expected of the Prime Minister to step in if there is no guards present. Hence why some of these stuff, like being able to end joke suggestions and basic moderator tools, will need to be necessary, because we do need to try and keep this server running and not going at each other's throats.
Right. So, my question is, the Prime Minister itself, since it's going to be a technical, like, the third counselor position, are the counselors going to have that same, like, authority, or is it just the Prime Minister?
It's just the Prime Minister that gets that extra level of authority.
Okay, okay. I'm cool with that.
Because I guess, Prime Minister's going to be the one that's got the most votes, and it's just to give the Prime Minister a little bit more to do and kind of help take off some of the extra weight. If anyone in the audience does want to, come up here because, you know, if it helps. Obviously, when they're activated, they will be able to do all of the things that a monarch can do, because I think except from the caller lockdown, they would need the actual monarch's permission to do a lockdown. But other than that, they will be able to do everything else as a monarch if activated, because we've removed total control. We've done this because, well, like, there isn't really a need for total control if we have councillors who can rather easily be replaced, just with a quick snap election. Whereas, I guess with the old and I guess if we lose a councillor, it's not that bad, because we're only losing a representative. Whereas if we were to, under this current system, we were to lose a guard, that kind of fucks us over because we've lost a representative and we've lost a moderator. However, this way, we're only losing one side, which I guess is still a bit shit, but sadly we can't I can't fix everything. So yeah, right, and we'll get the same powers as a monarch when activated, unless said otherwise in the monarch's roles. Okay, I believe. Yes, there is currently a clause with the lockdown stuff that yeah, if the Prime Minister is activated, the monarch would have to agree to lockdowns.
Right. Okay.
Monarch's roles. Just cannibalize from the above. Where is it that a Prime Minister steps in if the where is it? Moderates in situations if a guard is not present. Now, for the Prime Minister, it's a little different. If a guard is not present or the monarch.
Okay, I see. So that way they can't just go willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Like that.
This is kind of as a way to, it's, yeah, so we are still sticking by the separation of powers thing that we've kind of got going. However, it is something that could happen. I highly doubt it, because you've got, 4 other people above the Prime Minister in terms of moderation. And whoever our guards are typically going to be very active. So this is literally as a just in case. Ooh, no mic. Does Prime Minister get the option to clear suggestion box when needed? I remember suggestion boxes were full with an issue in the past, since Monarch would never clear it. I guess that would go in the same powers. I believe that they can. Yes, has the with the agreement of the monarch. If they disagree, then the council. Yeah, end a joke or non-serious suggestion. So that would come under it.
So who would be in charge of suggestion box then? Like fully, like it's their job to do suggestion box like once a week.
That would be. Oh shit.
Would that be the regular counselors, or would that be up to prime minister, or would that be up to monarch?
Um.
Because
I
the
g-
way I would see it is like if we have it, the counselors do suggestion box, then the counselors would be like, all right, let's go through suggestion box. They sit there, look at everything that the suggestion box has said, pass, and then they take those suggestions and they're like, all right, do we want to vote on this? Yay or nay? They vote, and then it's kind of a done deal right there, right?
I guess. Well, yeah. I guess with that way, there is a chance that perhaps the council could vote to not go through with a suggestion because they personally didn't like it, and then at that point there isn't much that you can really do. So my suggestion would be the current system of the monarch goes through and deals with the suggestions. Possibly might be the best. If a monarch disagrees with a suggestion, then it will go to a council vote. However, if the monarch wants to veto a suggestion because it's already been done, or it's already been done, or that's something that they can't do, then I guess the monarch can say no. I should probably write that in the monarch's stage, actually. I mean, I understand, but my only worry is a majority of the councillors would perhaps disagree with something. Yeah, with the suggestion, despite the fact that majority of people support it. So I guess my real worry is that we will end up in a point like that. At least if it's a monarch and a prime minister dealing with them together, they can go through it if they think this is something that we can't do, because it's literally something that they can't do. It's against TOS, or it's just impossible. They can veto it. If they disagree with it, then it's taken to the council, and obviously if they agree with it, it gets done. I should probably write that down, actually, and then after I've wrote that down, I need to go to the loo because I have the bladder of a 4-year-old. Right. Is responsible for the suggestion box. Goes through the suggestions with the PM and can agree, disagree, or veto. With agree, they go through with the suggestion. If they disagree with the suggestion, then the council votes on the matter, or if we've got Nuke. Right, Nuke, get your ass up here. Oh, for fuck's sake. That bastard. No. No. Please. I need... Uh, if
So,
I need to shower and sleep. What's up?
there you go.
uh,
So you can't
well,
do anything.
damn,
You
No, I can't.
actually
I have to wake up in like 8 hours.
shit, fuck. Why do people have lives? The hell is wrong with you all?
Nothing. Why are there only 4 people in here?
Because the other people left. Look, if they don't want to be here to participate, then that's not my problem.
Anyway, what do you need me for? Is it like a quick question
This was going to be more of a you permanently sit on my shoulder and like tell me like, oh, this you can't do that, or like make sure be careful what you're writing. But it's fine. Once we've got all the ideas written down, you and all the judges can flesh it all out, right?
Yeah, well, I can look over it, but I have my full trust to you and Ichigo to do it correctly. I've been doing a good job.
Great. Well, Ichigo, looks like it's me and you that are rewriting the ROTC. Staff doesn't seem too interested. Holy shit, I'm going to die.
huh?
I love everything. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
Dragon's
go.
back. Dragon can be back up here unless he didn't secure the food to us. Dragon, yes, Dragon. Bring Dragon back. All right, you can go shower and shave. Well, have a good night.
Good night, good night. Don't kill too many people. Bye bye.
Yay. We just need a staff on here so people are happy. Right, I have written out the suggestion box matter, which states is responsible for the suggestion box, goes through the suggestion box with the monarch, and can agree, disagree, or veto. With agree, they go through with the suggestion. If they disagree with the suggestion, then it is taken to the council to vote on the matter. And if it is physically impossible to do, like it's against ROTC or TOS, or it's like to ban someone, then it can be vetoed.
Well, as the de facto community guy, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that sounds good to me.
Good. Well, 'cause I need a wee, so talk amongst yourselves, and I don't know, twiddle your thumbs.
Well, Dragon, I guess just well, audience, as the de facto, I will ask. Everything on screen look cool? I'm here, just muted. So, Dragon, the suggestion box. feel like the Prime Minister and the Monarch can both handle that equally while also getting through it in a timely manner?
I think we better have both of them instead of just one of them.
Well, yeah. So it's the Monarch and the Prime Minister can both go through the suggestion box, I believe, is what Holt just put it.
Yeah, that sounds all good.
Okay. Dragon, do you have anything that you want to add that has to do with the suggestion box?
Not really. Everything seems fine.
Well, what about then in general when it comes to the Prime Minister?
I honestly don't know for the Prime Minister. Seems like everything's fine, but I don't know if he does that. Or if he like vocalized everything.
Okay, okay.
Personally, I haven't had much to complain about the entire system, except for the voting mechanics, that's it.
I see.
Pardon? Honestly.
Bro, I'm American. You don't gotta excuse me.
I most certainly do. Tough shit. Since the people voted, I get full control in these meetings. You follow by my rules.
Okay, okay then, civilian. He's joking.
Yep.
See?
Yeah, sure. Hang on. What the fuck is this? What are these comments? Where can I see all these comments? I want to see them. Hang on, how do I... Suggesting viewing? No. Suggesting... Apparently there's suggestions... Or comments? Add part and format underline. Suggestion rejected. Sorry, I'm just messing around to see. Right, anyway. Swiftly move on from that. Right, then it can be vetoed. I think that's everything for new Prime Minister. For the new Prime Minister roles, can vote on council proposals, can create proposals for the council to vote on. I believe. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Have fun, Dragon.
Right? Yeah, I think that's that covers the basis, right? Would you agree?
Let me take a look see here. So these cans and cannots, these are just the basis of the new stuff we're adding, or is that supposed to be like the power they hold in the server?
That's kind of the power they hold, what they're meant to do, what they can do, what they can't do.
Okay. So then, with that stuff looks good. But do we want to
Oh, new powers. That will get added in. Right. So, do you want to do what we did last time for the Monarch? Because that seemed to work pretty quick.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. Okay, so create and remove non-ROTC roles. I think everybody's cool with that. I mean, nobody had a problem with it last time. And then give and take away ROTC roles to members following the process is established, which is the same thing, is it not?
Is it non-ROTC roles or ROTC roles?
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you got me there. So the first one was to create and remove non-ROTC roles,
Yeah.
and then the second one is to give and take away ROTC roles following the process is established.
There you go. Right. What's next?
The next one would be create channels, remove channels. Sounds good. And then create and close events. So channels and events rules.
There we go. Create and remove channels and.
You want to make sure that that also stays in line with the clause I think we added to the monarch, because I think if you go back up, I think we added a clause that so long as like everybody's okay with the removal of that channel.
No, we did not.
No, we did not. Oh wait, the third one from the top: create and remove channels within reasons. Do we want to just remove that within reason? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense anyways. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, okay, then the same thing should apply for the prime minister. So yeah,
Yeah.
nope, extra clause.
I want the same thing to reply to the Prime Minister about the Caveton regions.
Okay.
That they have limited control over the separate Caveton regions unless the manager is not active or there is no manager, and the Prime Minister, then the Monarch and PM has full say, but only along the rules and procedure of the manager's role. Copy, just because I think that's for the best. Right, what next?
Next would be in other properties. So this, I guess, when it says in other properties, I'm guessing it would mean like
That would mean
like,
region. Yeah, that would be me.
yeah,
That would mean it.
regions. It would be make changes with the approval of monarch. Do we want to still have that? Because
No. Keep. Well, this already covers it. So the above already covers that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. So then, in staff, normally be a tiebreaker vote in proposals to the guardianship. I guess we'd be changing that to be a tiebreaker vote in the council.
Well, it isn't necessarily that they are a tiebreaker. It's that they are one of the three votes.
Right. Okay. So, do we want to make sure that's defined?
I feel like it already is pretty defined. The fact that they vote on all council proposals, and they can create council proposals.
Okay.
I feel like that's already. Actually, I guess the role of breaking is the tiebreaker vote on council votes. There we go.
Yeah. Just to make sure that it's defined.
But
and that
only when needed to break ties. There we go.
Perfect. That looks good. It also says they can change the hours of responsibility of the guard, elite guard, or proxy guard upon request. So basically the same thing as the monarch is they can change the schedule times of who's supposed to moderate. Okay, the next one is manage, appoint, and remove ministers.
I think I've already put that.
Okay, next would be the
Wait, have I?
authority to
Has the authority, yeah, to remove a minister or manager.
Okay. And then, so I remember we changed something about the clerks. So the next one was appoint or remove clerks. How do you want to? I don't remember
Did
exactly
we?
decided on that.
Right, anything on clerks. And has the ability to remove any clerk. I don't think we did.
So I remember.
It's just that they can remove clerks.
Yeah, they don't. So it's basically the ministers aren't forced to have the clerks. However, if the clerk is not being a very good clerk, and everybody but the minister recognizes that, then they can go on to remove it.
Yeah.
I believe is what we.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's already.
Okay.
Right, that's the next one.
Do tasks given to them by the monarch, which I think is a given, but if it needs to be written down, then let's write it down.
Yep.
And then we already have the last one, which was end suggestions if it's clearly a joke, and then in staff when activated has the same power as monarch, which I think we already have.
Yep, that's one of the first ones.
So that basically is the prime minister.
Yeah. Damn, that was quick. A lot quicker than fucking monarch.
The monarch.
Then the councillor is going to be a lot quicker. I know the
Yeah.
judges and stuff when we've got the judges to do, but I really just want to get the council over and done with. The role of the judges I don't think is going to end, except from some of the new little tidbits that they have to settle disagreements between the monarch and the council. And I guess in the councillor section we will get into the proper parts about what the limits to the proposals can be.
Before we get to those counselors, do we want to redefine or just completely port over the 2.1.3 first lady / gentleman role? Basically the partner of the current monarch if they have one. Do we care about that at all, or is that just a show?
That's a show role. That's a show role.
Okay. So, I mean, I'll leave that up to you whether you want to port it over.
Yeah, I don't think. Is anyone really etching
I mean,
for?
I don't know if there's anybody that is itching to be the first lady currently, unless you got somebody in mind.
No, not me.
So I guess there goes that. So okay, now let's move on to those counselors.
Yeah. Alright, let me just.
Now, have you spoken to any of the judges or guards about the counselors yet?
They are aware that the councillor position will exist. Not my job if they want to participate.
Fair enough.
Right, so the councillor, the requirements are going to be very similar. And when I say very, I literally mean the exact same as the minister. And their cans and cannots is also going to be a lot quicker to do because there's like 5 things that they can and cannot do. So the requirements is literally the same. because
Basically, all that needs to be done is just porting over the guard's specified parts of the representation.
yeah. I feel like we came up with the pretty much the representative side of it in the Prime Minister section. Let me copy paste all the
No problem. Take your time. Want to make sure this gets done right the first time.
yeah. Okay, that's it on the representative side that we put in the Prime Minister section. I guess we can be a little more clearer what the moderation part is, what the representative side is in the councillor section, because technically the Prime Minister is a councillor. So I guess we can go over. So we literally only have two things right now. Do you want to pull up the representative part of the current one?
Yeah.
And then we'll start cannibalizing.
So, to be specific on the 3-month term, do we want to make sure that it's a clause that they can be infinitely reelected, and that there are, in the current ROTC, there are election dates of when each election should happen? So do we want to port those terms over as well?
Well, the terms of no limits to their term has already been put in place. That there's like no limit to the amount of terms they can have. I guess
Then it just be do we want to make sure the same election dates take place?
I'm going to say no, simply because a situation might come of hand where an election needs to be pushed back. Yeah, or an immediate election needs to be needs to happen. So, if an immediate what we're going to do is how the elections will work is in the 3rd month it needs basically we would want the elections to happen on the same day or the same week of every month, which would be the last week of every 3rd month.
Okay.
So it can be anywhere in that 3rd week, in that last week. So the last 7 days of the month. That's when the election has to happen. If an election is called early, then that's when you start from. If an election needs to be called early, you start from that, and then you start counting the 3 months.
Correct.
So we should probably, I guess,
Specify that.
specify how the elections work. The vote itself for the election has to take place at the end of take place within the last 7 days of the month of the 3rd month. If an election is called early, then
that time frame would still be a 7-day kind of election like period, right?
I guess that's already kind of a given. I'm just trying to think how to word. Then the 3 months, then the next election will take place within the last 7 days of the 3rd month from when that early election was called. There we go. Who shall we have call the early election?
Probably.
And
I would say probably the monarch or the prime minister, if not both. But I just thought up of a possible problematic scenario that I'll let you in on after you're done typing.
can call an emergency election if the majority of the council resigns or is kicked out of There we go. Right, what's up? What's the issue?
Alright, so the only problematic thing I can think of is that each counselor's active active term would have to be tracked individually, because if one counselor were to leave in the middle of a term and a new one would be put on, then would that new counselor have their 3 months, or is it once the 3 months is done in general?
Yeah.
Or how the first counselor. So how would that
Yeah,
work?
all of the council would get all of the council would get done at the same time. So
So let's say a counselor fucking dips out a week before or 2 weeks before election. You do an emergency election, and then you have a counselor that's only there for a week before another election starts.
yeah,
You see where that might pose an issue. Or
I
if you
guess,
have
but
to
that
expect
that is expected. That councillors would leave like a week before election. I guess if it's a week before an election, we can get away with having 2 councillors, because then the monarch can step in. So it really depending on when in the 3 months that the emergency election can be called, and if it's appropriate for the monarch to step in. I would say if it's like within the 1st month, then a new election can be called. If it's within the 2nd month of the term, a new election can be called. And then it's still at the end of the 3 months. That's when the rule taken place. It would only be the case that the new election timer starts if all of the councillors are having to be voted on.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I'm not really sure how to word that.
Yeah, I'd definitely break that. And then honestly, as I'm looking through the old guards stuff, the only thing that it really proposes that the guards do is make and vote on proposals. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, only when Right. I think that's it for the council then. Is it? Ichigo?
What's up? Oh,
I believe that's it. For the council.
Votes on all council proposals can create.
So there.
Yeah. Okay, right there. Can create proposals for council. Okay, so the question I want to ask
Yeah.
is the proposals these councilors can make and vote on. To what extent can they affect the community and or the ROTC?
Ooh, okay, this is good. This is good. Anything that changes the ROTC has to be done via referendum.
Okay. Is that written down somewhere?
It will be now. Cannot change the ROTC with their proposals. That has to be done via a referendum.
Okay. That is good. That's good. And then do we want to have a clause where they can change their proposals can change anything within the community that does not directly interfere or affect the ROTC?
Yeah. But it can't be like to remove a member or punish a member.
Right. Well, it wouldn't. Okay. Yeah.
Can in their proposals make any other changes
For the most part, yeah. It would be between moderation and the judges that would affect whether members. No. Counselors are not moderation. The guards are moderation. We're splitting it so that way it's two different things, to where the counselors vote and the moderation actually moderates the circle. So it's up to the moderation of the judges whether or not what members are, muted, banned, can't be here, stuff like that.
this is also to go this current clause that they cannot make proposals that affect a member or a group of members specifically is in response to something Jack did where he called for the removal of someone when he was a honor guard.
Right, okay, yeah. So let me go over it real quick, make sure everything looks tip-top. Votes council proposals. Can create proposals for the councils to vote on with the majority rule for the proposal to pass. Did she just get a diamond achievement? Was that a 200 gamer score achievement too, nonetheless? Dude, my daughter's over here unlocking like the secret rare achievements on the Peppa Pig game. It's
Damn.
crazy. Okay, let's see. To create proposals, councils alone cannot change the ROTC with their proposals. That has to be done by referendum. Can in their proposals make any other changes that affect the community. Cannot make proposals that affect a member or a group of members specifically. I think that looks good to me.
Yeah. Do you want to do the judges? Considering while
Yeah,
we're here and the judges are staying the same.
Yeah, honestly, all the judges need to be is a copy and paste over, really. So if you want me to, I'll just copy all that shit and paste it over.
Yep. Alright. What's the requirements then? Right, let's get started. Requirements to be a judge.
Well, so, okay, the requirements is have been a member for 3 months, has not been banned in the past 6 months, has not been accused of social erosion in the past 6 months, and be
Ah.
at least 14 years old. Just post that in the thing, so that way you can, like, copy and paste it.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, I remember the requirements, the wording specifically of not have been accused of social erosion, change that to not have been convicted of social erosion.
Yeah.
That being a big thing.
Oops. Convicted. There we go.
Then it's just the same thing with like cans and cannots, really.
Yeah. Oh, we did something different about the vote of confidence, I believe.
Yes, we did. So that would be essentially the judges can call to say, hey, we don't think the counselors are doing good, we don't think the monarch is doing good, or we don't think the guards are doing good. So I believe the judges are like the only ones that can call vote of confidence on anybody, and so long as the people, because that's supposed to be a public vote, I believe, that vote of confidence would be a public vote of, do you, the people, think these members or this staff is doing their job correctly, yay or nay? But we can change that if you want.
Let's go to the monarch. Give me a sec. Right, I'm back. We have to make it so the judges, at the end of the lockdown, decide if it was necessary.
Yes, we also should add that.
Because that's one of the rules. Where was it about the oh, hang on, the executive vote of no confidence, which can happen within the council. The council as a whole can call a executive vote of no confidence in the monarch, but only if all three agree. Which then would put a vote to the people to keep the monarch or not. And does that look alright? The executive vote of no confidence rule.
So it looks okay. So if the council can call for a vote of no confidence, three. So it has to be a unanimous vote.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, I guess it would make sense. It would protect the monarch from just getting voted out willy-nilly. But at the same time, if the prime minister or one of the counselors is in the pocket of the monarch, then it would never get to pass to the public's second vote. So I mean, there's two sides of this. There's two sides of that coin that you can go about doing it. Not too sure. I would say maybe
Sorry, just this little thing. Oh. So would you want it that only a majority agree?
I would say if there's two separate votes to go to get the monarch removed, then I would say probably 2 out of 3. Well, no, that's the point. There's 3 people to vote, so that way a tie isn't possible. So that's why. So yeah, I would say a 2 out of 3, and then if that 2 out of 3 succeed, then it would go to the people
Yeah.
for the final. So yeah, you'd have to go through 2 different votes for that. Yeah, but I mean, it's we want to make sure that the people can decide, but we also want to make sure the monarch just can't be thrown out willy-nilly whenever somebody wants. You gotta protect both sides of it. Pardon?
And then how do the judges call an executive vote of no confidence or a vote of no confidence? Or do we want the judges to be able to call a vote of no confidence?
I don't know. See, because that's where it gets a little tricky, trying to balance who has what power and who can stop who from something.
Hmm.
Is the judges, as of now, probably hold, like, with this new ROTC, if we don't change a few things about the judges, then the judges would technically have the most power. So, in order to balance it, the best way to go about that would to say
That they
the judges can call votes of no confidence for the counselors or the moderation, I think. I don't think the judges should you have the judges do the monarch as well? Should the judges be able to do all 3 of them? I don't know.
we could just have it be the monarch. No, not the monarch. The guards. We could have it so they can just
just call out votes. Okay, I see. Okay.
because again the
Because I
beauty is
know-
if it's the council, if all of the council are up to no good, then it's up to the monarch. However, if it's one specific councillor that's messing up, not much is really affected because it's only a representative, and it's 1 out of 3.
Do we want to have it so that if the monarch and judges feel that the counselor's out of place, then they can get the counselors removed, and then it could just be a way of, if there needs to be 2 sides of every branch working together to remove one branch per se. Or no, too melded. Like, let's say the monarch and judges feel like the counselors are out of line, then they could start a referendum to stop the counselors. If the counselors and judges think the monarch's out of line, they can start a vote to keep the monarch in check. And if the monarch and the counselors think the judges are out of line, then that vote can be made. Do you see what I'm saying with that? Kind of like a triangle kind of deal.
Yeah. I guess if we
Then it takes away from the guards too. So I don't know.
yeah, I think we keep it that the judges can't call a vote of no confidence, because that way we do kind of end up with this triangle of power that we've got going here. And the only way to keep the judges from having all the power and having so much power is that they can't call votes of no confidence.
They can only do it to guards. I think is how we want to keep it.
Yeah. Call vote of confidence of vote of confidence. It's vote of no confidence. Now, just because I think that sounds nice, a vote of no confidence, rather than a vote of confidence. I don't know. I think that just might be me.
Yeah, I was always confused by the wording that was used.
Yeah. Verify elections, interpret the rules. I think that's about it for judges. Yeah. Lockdown. I think that's everything. Yeah. Damn, that was easy. It was quick.
Yeah.
We got
Let me just go over those judges real quick again, just to make sure.
Yeah.
People involved. Okay.
Damn,
Add
Ichigo. We
candidate.
should have you as a judge.
Maybe, but probably. Candidates. Okay. Call a vote of no confidence on any member of the guards. Verify the elections. Interpret the rules. Arbitrate, investigate, and resolve cases from staff and members. Give binding verdicts on cases. Give punishment to members as part of verdicts. Immunity from being banned, muted, or censored during cases concerning the monarchy or the guardship, or imposing a vote of confidence on them. Okay, so that one's a bit wordy. Maybe we want to further define that one, but at the same time it sounds good as well. I don't know. That one's a bit weird. The next one is immunity from being brought to a trial by the plaintiff or defendant of a case they resolved up to a month ago. This protection can be... Okay, so what does that exactly mean?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. That's the biggest problem I've always had with these, is that it's so left up to interpretation that you can derive any meaning from these sentences and just run with it if you want to. Like, immunity from being brought to a trial by the plaintiff or defendant of a case they resolved up to a month ago. What does that mean? Like, so...
I guess they can't be. A trial can't be. A case can't be made against them.
It's not specifically saying that. It's so from the wording I'm getting is that they can't be brought in a trial that is made by a plaintiff or defendant of a case that they resolved from that plaintiff or defendant a month ago. Which, what? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. What does that mean? What?
Let's reword.
It doesn't mean anything. Like, I feel like that one needs to be changed or something.
Cannot have a case be started against them by a participant in a case that has happened within a month, within the last month.
Okay, so with that, can you also make sure that the original definition is also there? I want to make sure that I kind of want to talk to Fraud about that one to see what the hell he was on about.
We don't need fraud. Let's come up with our own definition.
Okay. Well, I really want to know what this was supposed to be.
I think this was B to like stop. I feel like this was to stop like people responding and like people like if they're not happy with their case and their verdict, they take the judge to trial.
Okay, I think I see it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that should be expanded upon maybe, or worked on a little bit more.
Can we add some sort of stipulation for judges with being a conflict of interest? I think that already is a rule. And I think that still is gonna be a rule. I think that's just how cases go, where if a judge is a conflict of interest, they remove themselves, or the plaintiff can request.
Right. Okay. So I think what she's getting at is that the openness of being able to call a judge a conflict of interest should be more restricted to. It should be more like factual. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed to say, "Oh, well, Nuke's a conflict of interest because him and Ichigo were in a VC one time, and that looks sus to me. So now he's a conflict of interest to pay for him." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like there should be a defining of conflict of interest, or maybe some form of stipulation, like she's saying, for where we have a solid line of what is and what is not a conflict of interest.
Um. A. Wait, let's get rid of the
Should that
bold.
be defined within the judge's kind of box, or should that?
I'm
be
just I'm just sticking it in the judges box for now, and then when we go on to do the full rewrite, we can sort out all these different little sections and stuff.
Right. Okay.
This is just to keep things neat and tidy, I guess, in mind while we're working on them. Can be removed from a case if the plaintiff or a defendant calls for a
No,
conflict.
we don't want for calls for it. We want to make sure there's a solid line. So if there is, yeah, so it can be removed from a case if the plaintiff or defendant is a conflict of interest, and then we would go to define what a solid conflict of interest means. That's exactly what he backspaced to say. Judge may be close friends with either side. Close friends. Or has a specific bias towards a group of members, if not a specific member. That looks good. Look. That is like a judge may be close friends with either side. Looking can be removed from a case if the plaintiff or defendant, if the judge is held. I see. There's a little bit of grammatical problem right there.
There is.
Yeah, so it can be removed from a case if the plaintiff or defendant, if the judge is a conflict.
Can be removed from a case if the plaintiff by the there we go. Yeah, can be removed by from a case by the plaintiff or defendant if the judge is a conflict of interest. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, there we go. That works.
This then would be up to the other two judges to decide
If a conflict of interest is
to decide if this if the conflict
Can there be more than 3 judges?
we're only having 3 judges. We don't need more.
Yeah, I know, but if needed, would there be more than 3 judges at any point? Or would there always have 3?
Always have 3. I don't really see a situation where we would need more than 3, especially at the moment.
That there's only 3 judges? Like that should be for future reference. Well, I mean, a referendum. We'll just leave it how it is. I don't think there needs to be a specific, there can only be 3 judges at a time. I don't think that needs to be said. That looks, I can go through it real quick. Verdicts, case, judges after lockdown decide lockdown necessary, can be removed from the case by a plaintiff or defendant if the judge is a conflict of interest within the case. This is that a judge may be close friends with either side, have participated with the event itself, or has specific bias towards member or members. This then would be for the other judges to decide if the conflict of interest is a standing point based on the words and evidence on the conflict of interest being present. That's a bit wordy, but it works.
Look, wordy can be dealt with by the judges
Yeah,
and myself when we.
that can be shortened up by the actual people who should be doing this.
I think that's it. I think we've come to a pretty good. We're pretty much there, I guess.
Yeah.
We just need to do guard.
It's just copy and paste, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Except managers. I guess managers will have a little bit to them. Guards, it's pretty much copy paste. Clerks, it's pretty much copy paste. And then the rest of the stuff, I guess the filling out section with like adding in the the extra bits and pieces can all be added in. And then after that, we go to myself and the judges, who then we would have to rewrite it ourselves. And I mean like physically rewrite it and put everything down in proper wording. Then it gets voted on, which and make sure there's no loopholes and no mistakes and spelling. And to be honest, it's probably all gonna be rewritten in British English. Because it'll be done on my PC most likely. So yeah. Well, how long have we been live? Hour and 20 minutes? Oh, hour and 40. Fucking hell. Yeah. A lot shorter than last time. Last time I think we were on for 3 hours. Yeah, this is a lot shorter. Well, I want to thank. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, how did it get negative views?
Negative views.
Yeah, look at your analytics chart at the bottom there. It had at one point it had a negative view.
I honestly don't know.
Well, it's YouTube.
Yeah. Well, thank you to everyone who participated. While.
Like to thank all the members that showed up.
Yeah, and all the staff. Really appreciated. Yeah, obviously, we've got the week coming up, so we're probably going to be looking at this being sorted Wednesday and Friday. I think will probably be the days that we do our last meetings. Then obviously we'll have the weekend then to do any more meetings if we need to do any more meetings, which I highly doubt it. Thank you to anyone that showed up. I do appreciate you all showing up and helping and shit. Especially Ichigo, who was pretty much wrote half of this. I wrote one half, he wrote the other at this point. So
Hey man,
Yeah, special thanks.
Kidding. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, you should consider like putting yourself up for a judge.
I mean, it's controversial for me to be in any part of staff
Oh,
nowadays.
sod people, honestly. You're so good at it, though. Well, I'll see what I can do.
You know what? Send me an offer and I'll think about it.
Yeah, yeah. When a position becomes open, I will definitely have you in mind. Thank you to everyone that showed up. And yeah, we'll see you Wednesday, possibly Tuesday, depending on how I feel. Goodbye.
Yeah, it depends. Catch you later.
If you excuse me.